Hi everybody, we're in portion Toldot, and from a weekly inspiration point of view, the section is talking about Isaac, the son of Abraham, and basically how his relationship to his wife Rebecca, and giving birth to two kids, one of them negative, one of them positive. Jacob positive, Esau the negative. Seem like Isaac is more attached to Esau, the negative. Rebecca is more attached to Jacob, positive. Of course, question been asked why if both of them are spiritual. Story happened in this section as well is a story where Esau kind of hungry, and he came to Jacob and said, listen, I'm really hungry. And Jacob said, if you want the food I'm making, you have to sell to me the birthright. And Esau gave Jacob the birthright. And of course, question being asked, why can't you just give food and be a sharing person? Another question. Story continue. Esau been told by his father, if you want to receive the blessing, the ultimate blessing ever was given by God to a human, from a human father to a son, was going to be given by Isaac only. Rebecca, the wife, when she see her son, Esau, the bad one, going for hunting for his father, she tell the other boy, the younger one, Jacob, say, why you are here? Let me cook some food for your father, and you serve it, so you steal the blessing from your brother. Kind of weird how a mother can give that education, but that's what she did. And right after that, of course, Jacob received the ultimate blessing from his father. Esau come back and find out he was full. He's very angry. And he said to himself, I got to kill my brother over the idea that he stole the blessing. And Jacob and Rebecca, after the fact that he already took the blessing from Esau, they tell again both of the parents that he has to leave town, otherwise his brother will kill him. That's basically the portion themselves. And of course, it's raised a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, a lot of idea of a lot of things don't make sense. Jacob being the good guy, can you give your beans or your split pea soup, or what they calling it there in the Bible? It's basically lentil soup, red lentil soup. Just give it. Just give the food. What's the big deal there? So of course we have a responsibility to explain it from a secret point of view and understand the secret. Also, it's important to understand it as we're going to defend the good guy, because otherwise the good guy look bad and the bad guy look good, and that's when something is wrong with our understanding. For that reason, we need the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who wrote the Zohar, to help us out and to understand what's really going on. And at the same time, we need Rav Yehuda Ashlag to help us understand the Zohar so we can make sense out of what's going on here. So, the idea of Jacob being the good guy and the idea of Esau being negative, we need to explain first the whole idea of what was exactly the difference. If you look at the beginning of the section, Rebecca, the wife, is struggling with the idea that she's feeling something very weird while she's pregnant. She feels when she's going next to negative people, the baby's happy. When she's going next to positive people, the baby is happy as well. So she said, I think I'm carrying a baby that is very confused about his or her spirituality. She went to a psychic named Shem, the son of Noah, and he told her, well, you carry twin. Not have to worry. V'Rav Ya'avod Tza'ir is telling her. Rav Ya'avod Tza'ir, meaning the great baby, okay, or the older baby, will worship the young one. So whoever going to come first will be the older one. He will be under the good one. And who came first? Esau. Who came second? Jacob. And for that reason, he already told her the future what's going to happen. And he told her, you're going to have two babies. One is going to be good, one is going to be bad. She was very happy about that news, which make no sense when a mother gets news that one of the babies is bad, one of the babies is good. Why she's celebrating only with the good? Because she was worried that she is running into the same case as Eve. And we need to know Rebecca is one of the reincarnation of Eve. She was worried that she carried Cain and Abel. And if she carried Cain and Abel, she worried they're going to kill each other, which is almost happened. Almost happened. But somehow Jacob took care of it as well, as we're going to read the next week and the week after. So we learn from that a lot about that there is a lot of secret that are not being told in the story. And for that reason, we explained so far why Rebecca was happy, because she realized she carried two forces, one negative, one positive. But the positive force eventually will make it. Not like Cain and Abel, that Abel was more positive than Cain, and Cain killed him. So she knew that this baby will make it, Jacob. And the other baby, which is Esau, which is super negative, will deal with him later. We'll say later, meaning in our time. That's how far that go. But let's go forward and ask the question that the Rabbi Shimon is asking. And it says like that. I'm reading from verse 77. בואו ראה, come and behold. פעם אחת, one time, היה יושב רבי שמעון. רבי שמעון was sitting. ושאר החברים, and a lot of people who study with רבי שמעון was sitting there. It was a gathering. בא לפניו רבי אלעזר בנו. His son רבי אלעזר came. אמרו לו לרבי שמעון, דבר גדול יש לנו לשאול ממך. And he was representing the old student. So we want to ask you a question, Rabbi Shimon. You are the only one who can answer this question. בעניין של יעקב ועשיו, we have a question about Jacob and Esau. So what's the question? They ask, איך לא רצה יעקב לתת לעשיו נזידת השם? How come Jacob couldn't share some of his soup or some of his dish? It's almost like a chulent. If you don't see a chulent or chamin or schina or tbecha or whatever name you want to give it. It's a dish. It's a or tagine. You put it in a pot and you cook it all together. And he say, why wouldn't they give him? עד שבחר לו הבכורה שלו. And he said to him, you have to sell me your birthright, then I will give you the food. ועוד שאמר עשיו ליצחק אביו, ויעקבני זה פעמים, איך אפשר שיעקב ירמה את עשיו? How can that be that Jacob, being the good guy, cheating Esau in a way? Because he tell him, you want the soup? Sell your birthright. The birthright was worth more than a soup, more than a lentil soup, more than a lentil dish, more than a beans, whatever you want to call it. How does he take a person who's in desperation and just do it? That's what they ask Rabbi Shimon. You want to hear Rabbi Shimon answer, right? Verse 78. Look at the answer of Rabbi Shimon. Very weird answer. אמר להם, tell them Rabbi Shimon, בשעה זו אתם חייבים לקבל מלכות. He said, you deserve to be hit. You know, in the old days, used to use a special technique to remove your negativity with they whip you, not to hurt you, to whip you with a special meditation to remove the negativity. I'm not going to go into details because that's going to create a lot of confusion here. So don't hit each other, please. אמר להם בשעה זו אתם חייבים לקבל מלכות, כי האמנתם בדברי עשיו. Say, shame on you. You believe Esau was negative. ושיקרתם בדברי יעקב, and you lie about Jacob. What Rabbi Shimon is trying to teach us, you always have to take the side of the good one. Even if the bad one sometimes look good. If a bad one sometimes look good, you can take the side of the bad. If the good one look like it did something bad, check yourself to see why did you see the bad. הרי הכתוב מעיד עליו, ויעקב איש תם, שפירושו שאינו יודע לרמות. We already say that Jacob was humble, he cannot cheat. ועוד שכתוב תיתן אמת ליעקב. Also it say about Jacob that it was only emet, emet means truth, honesty. אלא ככה היה עניינו של יעקב עם עשיו. So what happened? Why does it seem like it? So it said to us רבי שמעון like that. כי עוד מקודם לכן היה עשיו שונא את הבכורה. Esau didn't like the responsibility of being born first, the birthright. והיה מבקש מיעקב שיקח אותה. And he used to beg Jacob, he said, can you be the firstborn? I don't want to be the firstborn. I don't want to be the firstborn. because it's a responsibility. From Kabbalah point of view, it's the Keter, it's the crown, it's the Bechor. So he used to tell Jacob, can you take it away from me without money? So, why? Because being born first, it means you're getting extra amount of light. But what the type of light you're getting? It's called light of wisdom, or the Chokhmah. And every time you draw that type of light, that type of energy, your body get tired. That's why when he met Jacob, it say he was tired, because he didn't have something to hold it. Why? Because the energy force of the light of the Creator, that energy force of the light of the Creator is very powerful. Light of wisdom is very powerful. If there's nothing to hold it, it can hurt you. It's almost like electricity. Without having the copper wire, it's going to go all over the place. But when you have transmitter, when you have something to transmit the electricity from one place to another, that's the Order Hasidim. That's what's going to hold it. Esau didn't have it because he didn't do any sharing. So when you make him the soup or the dish of the lentil, it's almost like he gave him a way to be able to receive that energy that you already will receive. Why lentil specifically? Lentil represent morning, and that was the day of Avraham passed away. So usually he's supposed to eat lentil at that time, because the lentil look like almost like a lips that cannot be open. And the point is to remind us that there is nothing to say when you lose somebody so great as Avraham. That's what the explanation here is saying. And he continue. And when Esau find a way to get rid of the birthright, Jacob didn't want just to make him feel he didn't earn it, and he make him feel like giving him a deal. So, like this, Esau was happy to give the birthright, and Jacob make him feel like he earned it by eating that soup of giving him by Jacob. So basically, Jacob saved his life. What is the lesson for us, my friend? Many times we judge people because we see they're doing something wrong according to us. It's not all the time they do something wrong just because we don't understand. A lot of time when we don't understand something, we judge the situation as if that situation is bad. But the situation is not bad situation. It's just not clear situation. And for that reason, we understand now something about our life. Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau. Jacob being good, Esau being bad. You have to learn to separate good and bad. Not all situations are good, some situations are bad. Not all people are good, some people are bad. And you have to stop supporting the good, the bad, negative side. Because a lot of time when you support it, for a logical reason, you say, well, they're right about it. I hear many people that try to make sense out of negativity. Negativity will, if it starts making sense to you, that means you're doing something really wrong. And you have to remember that Jacob did a favor to Esau because Esau was dying from the energy. And by him replacing the birthright into a soup or lentil something, he gave a chance to Esau get out of that responsibility. So now we have the answer why he didn't want to give it to him for free. So, what is make Jacob better than Esau? Well, Jacob was revealing a place for that light to be. Life is not about how much energy you revealed. Life is about, are you building a room for that energy to go to? Which means if you don't build a room to where the energy is going to go, unfortunately that energy will be all over, but it will not be in the right place. So for that reason, I'm telling you, you got to get into the concept, the idea that you do action, thinking or talking that create enough light, that called Order Chasadim, light of mercy, that type of energy can hold the light of wisdom. So in your life, on a daily life, ask yourself, when I'm doing what I'm doing. The sharing that you're doing, that's not what's going to help you. The sharing is just a tool to reveal what is already there. So everything is already there. The light of wisdom is already there. But if you don't have sharing energy in you, then the blessing that come your way will not help you. It will hurt you. And for that reason, we understand now what Jacob did to Esau. So when you're helping someone, you got to help them to earn it, not to help them to create it. We're not creating anything new because everything you're going to create is already there. We're just creating capability and ability to hold, to capture that energy you already have around you. All right? Now, the next section I'm going to read also from the Zohar, from verse 95. And it says, in verse 95, why all of that section has to do with struggle? Some people ask me, why do we need to struggle? What's the struggle all about? Universe can be perfect and everybody's happy here. So it say like that. Every person has to go to test by God, by the universe, so the people can step into every situation with their heads up. Why? When you go into a test, you feel more secure. So what's the cure for insecurity? Going to a test and overcoming it. People who don't make an effort and challenge themselves, sport, diet, behavior change, all other type of thing, they will not be capable to be sure of themselves. And the reason they will not be capable of being sure of themselves is not because they're not good, it's because there is something about them that they didn't overcome. So when they go ahead and meet people, they feel the energy. It's only energy is empty. So if you are an artist and you're not being creative this year, and you are among a lot of artists, either you have to lie to look good, or you have to be quiet because you have nothing else to offer. But if you make an effort and you didn't make it, you will feel good about yourself because you make the effort. So the effort itself is really overcoming different type of negativity in your life. Esau came ready to this world with a lot of energy because he was born first. Jacob wasn't. So Jacob was all the time going through more pain and more pain and more tests. But those tests that happened to you, and I hope they are not too painful for you, those tests are actually, say the Zohar in verse 95, כדי להרים ראשם, is that you can lift your head up and feel good about yourself. So I just want to share that part. It's kind of important. Now, when we talk about what exactly happened in the story, it's a tough story to make sense. What I say in the beginning, Jacob was told by his mom, Rebecca, I have the clothing of your brother, wear them, and go steal the blessing from your father, that he will not give it to Esau. Of course, there is a question why. Second, what type of clothing we're talking about? Is it like special jacket? Is it like Versace? Is it Bijan? What is it? What is exactly we talking about? So it says like that. אלוהים הלבושים שעשה והרוויחה מנמרוד. Esau, when he find Nimrod stole it from Adam and Eve, and Esau took it from Nimrod. ואלו היו לבושי יקר מן אדם הראשון. ובאו לידו של נמרוד, בהם היה נמרוד צד צד. Special clothing, so when you wear them, all the animals' kingdom bow to you, then you can hunt whatever you want very easily. So, when Esau took it from him, now he has special clothing. והיה מסתיר את הלבושים אצל רבקה. And he used to hide those clothing in his mother tent, Rebecca. And he used to hunt with them. But the day that he was supposed to hunt, that Isaac tell him, go hunt for me, bring the food so I can bless you forever. At that day, he didn't take the clothing. Of course, question been asked, why? Why you leave the clothing there, right? If it's such an important thing. And it say like this, כי מאחר שלא התלבש בלבושים, because he didn't take that clothing that day, לא נתקבצו אליו החיות. The animal didn't come to him, והיה צריך לרדוף אחריהם. He was supposed to chase them. ועל כן התאחר. And that's why he was delaying. והיה זמן ליעקב ליטול הברכות. And for that reason, Yaakov had a chance to still or take the blessing. כשלבשם עשיו, לא היו בא לבריח כלל. But to mention another thing, when Esau used to wear them, that clothing would not bring the smell of the Garden of Eden. Only when Jacob wear them. Why? Because Jacob was carrying the same energy of Adam from the Garden of Eden. He looked exactly like Adam. I'm going to try to explain it in a simple term, and hopefully it will be clear. In our universe, we have system of energy. Like electricity, you have the right side, you can call it plus, has less energy. It's called plus. It's revealed something that called everything beside the head. The left column, the head is stronger, but the body is not. And again, I'm sorry I cannot go into details. I mean, I would like to, but then you're going to get confused. But you need to understand, you have right column, you have left column. The right column is more weaker, but safe. Left column is stronger, but unsafe and unstable. Esau represents the left column. Jacob represents the right column. Isaac, their father, want to finish the chaos in this universe. So where are you going to go? After the weak line or the strong line? Isaac saw potential within Esau, that his head, his mind, came from the highest level. He said, through his mind I can correct the whole world. Jacob was perfect in this universe, but his head was not reaching to the highest level as Esau. Esau was reaching to the highest level, but he was using it for the wrong thing, that his body and his lower consciousness was used only for selfish reason. So Isaac thought to himself, I can correct the whole world through my left column energy, through my Esau. And for that reason, he chose Esau to go hunt. When he tell him to go hunt, he doesn't tell him tzayid, he tell him tzeidah. He used the word A, another letter called A. Why is he saying it? He's saying it to tell him that he's here. It's not about hunting, it's about capturing malchut. We are here only to correct malchut. And we know after the tzimtzum, after contraction, after the restriction, we have to bring everything to the way it was before. That's called tikkun. Everything from the time of creation has to go back to the original form, so we can correct everything that has to do with our desire. Now, Esau, because he's busy with himself, even his potential is greater than Jacob at that point, couldn't do it because he was busy only with himself. He didn't have Orda Chasadim, he didn't have the right column, so he couldn't think about somebody else. And he didn't take the clothing because those clothing can only deal with things that has to do in the level of Jacob. I hope I'm not confusing you here. So Esau is in the field, that's a superficial side of the story. But energy-wise, Esau is in the field, Esau is in Malchut, Esau is in physicality. He's dealing with it. But to deal with physicality, his physical level is only sin and crime. Jacob's physical level, it's only purity and perfection. What about the head of Jacob? Doesn't have any head. So the old Jacob was perfect, without head. Esau, his head is perfect, but he didn't reach there because all his 7 level or all the body level is all negative. Isaac was not related to positive negative because he was such a high level that he's dealing to who was born with the head. He didn't know about the lentil story, that the head potential was sold to Jacob with the lentil soup. If he knew that, he would never tell Esau to go and do it. Now you can say, why didn't he do it? Knew it. He's a prophet. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were a prophet. It's written that the Shekhinah, the female aspect of God, and God make sure that Isaac will not know. Why? Why did they take away from him that consciousness? Simply because when you bless somebody, when you're knowing what you're doing, it's not as big as when you bless somebody when you don't know what you're doing. Because when you don't know what you're doing, you're channeling the highest level of light because there is no limitation. When you know what you're doing, it's more limited, it's more focused. It's good, but it's focused, and it's less. But when you don't know, everything is flowing. So now, try to imagine, Jacob is coming, he dressed like his brother, he's walking into the tent with the food that his mother just cooked, dinner. Jacob is touching him. He feels like he's touching the airy brother that he has, which is not the whole details, because when Jacob walked in, Michael the angel walked with him, and the Shekhinah walked with him. So Isaac felt, wow, he smelled the Garden of Eden. And he was so happy to bless him. Because, don't forget, Isaac was blind at that point. Blind also has a meaning of light of wisdom, not going to details. So when he blessed them, Isaac didn't have prefer Esau or Jacob. He was just want to correct the world. And the blessing of Iten Lecha, Elohim, when he blessed him with that blessing, the most powerful blessing a human being ever can have, he blessed him with the blessing from now till the end of time, the blessing will be with Jacob. Now, if he would not do it, that means the blessing will go to Esau. And if the blessing will go to Esau, for the rest of this creation, the creation of this universe, we will be suffering every day. Because it will be controlled by the negative side. So that is an important thing. Now, who did all of that? Rebecca. Rebecca is the one who operated the whole thing. Rebecca is the one who told Jacob, please listen to me. Jacob told to his mom, hey, mom, I don't want to be cursed by the greatest person ever who was born, Isaac, which is my father. If you find I'm lying. And she answered to him, Alecha klilatcha bni. Don't worry, the curse is on me. Why would you say that? Because she was a reincarnation of, very good, Eve. Isaac played the role of God. Jacob played the role of Adam. And Esau played the role of the snake. So they meet again. Isaac gives the blessing. Jacob is Adam. He has to do the tikkun for whatever he didn't do last time. Eve want to correct whatever she did. And the snake, which happened to be her son, is there. So, taking the blessing was a very big deal for the future. Now, why you didn't take the clothing with you to hunt? Simply because those clothing are not supposed to be used when you're supposed to correct the malchut, the negativity within you. You're supposed to cancel the receiving side. But Esau didn't know how to do it. It was all impure. And for that reason, when he go to the field, which is also called field, Sadeh, Chakal Tapuchin Kadeshin, also malchut, he was not even busy with that. For that reason, when he came back with the food and his father wanted to bless him, his father smelled the smell of hell, not the Garden of Eden. And then he knew that what he did, the mistake he did, was the best thing he could ever do. Isaac find out late after the fact. Why? Because he wanted to bless whoever was born first. He didn't know that whoever born first is only committing crime every day, committing crime. If he only knew that he blessing the killer instead of blessing the righteous, he will not do it. Not knowing it was purposely done by God, purposely done by the Shekhinah and the angels, that he will not know. So he will give the blessing automatically, meaning from the light, without any hesitation. And that's, my friend, is a beautiful lesson for me, and I hope for you as well. A lot of time, you're running into a situation when you think you're right. You're running into a situation when you think you're wrong. Both ways, the knowing itself is the killer. When you know things, you're limited. When you don't know, you're channeling at different levels of light. So now we understand that the whole clothing thing is not just that, it's energy. We talk about powerful energy between right and left, and now the energy will always stay with the right. Right means giving, left means receiving. The original form of creation was receiving, meaning the creator want to give you 10, he created a receiver who can take 10. So the receiver is more important. Well, why do I need the giver there? But because of our universe give birth to something called Tzimtzum Aleph, Tzimtzum Bet, contraction A, contraction B, those of you know what I'm saying. For that reason, you have to be metaken, you have to be correcting the whole aspect of A, from the Yud Ke Vav Ke, the last A, which is Malchut, Sadeh, Malchut, the whole idea of receiving has to be corrected. And the one to correct it was only Jacob, because Jacob was the only one who was busy sharing. And thank God that happened. And we're thanking God to Rebecca as well. She did the whole operation. Without her, the blessing will stay with the dark side. Can you imagine? This is what Jacob did. So of course Jacob was afraid, because he was afraid of his father. But after all, after the fact, Isaac knew that his wife is right. Isaac knew that that's what he's supposed to be doing. If he knew what he know about his son Esau, he would never tell him to go and get blessing. But if he knew about his son Esau, he also would know about his son Jacob. And then it will be obvious that the blessing comes from Isaac, even if it comes from God. Like this, the blessing comes directly from God and from the angel to Jacob, which make it way higher level. And Jacob asked God not to be used, those blessings in his life. He said to God, please use that blessing to use it for my people after me, for the Israelites, so they can use it for till the end of time. Now, I hope that's clear, because it's kind of a big secret that I'm sharing it in a simple way, but it's a huge revelation. It's a huge revelation. Those of you who love, yeah. Now there is another section. So another angle to look at it about Esau and Jacob, you can look at it like the two sides of yourself, the good side and the bad side. Everybody has Jacob and Esau. We all have it inside of our body, inside of our soul. Jacob is the good side of you, and Esau is the bad side of you. Good inclination and bad inclination. So it's saying in verse 170 by Rabbi Shimon from the Zohar, כמה יש לו לאדם לתקן דרכיו בו בקדוש ברוך הוא כדי לקיים מצוות התורה, כמו שוודאי שני מלאכים יש לאדם שצריכים למעלה להתחבר עמו. Every person has two angels. For that reason, a person has to change, get himself better. אחד לימין ואחד לשמאל. One angel to the right, one angel to the left. והם עדים על האדם, they are witness. וכל מה שעושה הם נמצאים שם, וקוראים אותו יצר טוב ויצר רע. We call those two angels good inclination, bad inclination. That's the name. When a person comes to do good, the good inclination come and get closer. And he overcome the negativity. And the negativity become a servant or a slave. When a person is about to do bad, the negative angel becomes stronger and make the good slave. So, of course, you need a lot of power to overcoming that negativity. Why? Because כאשר מתגבר יצר הטוב, אז גם אויביו ישלים איתו. If you want your enemy to love you, you have to find something about yourself that you very difficult for you to overcome. And then when you overcome it, your enemy start liking you. Because what does enemy mean? Enemy is corresponding to the negativity within that you didn't overcome. For that reason, you still have enemy. In the day that you overcome all your enemy from within, the enemy from outside also disappear. כי היצר הרע שהוא אויביו נכנע לפני היצר הטוב. וזה אמר שלמה, טוב נקלע ועבד לא. מהו ועבד לא? אינו יצר רע, שנעשה לעבד ליצר הטוב. But if you overcome all your negativity, the evil inside of you become a servant to you and start guiding you. Same like Jacob, it's say here. Jacob, when he ran away from his brother who tried to kill him, he met Samech Mem Aleph Lamed, the angel of all demons, the angels of all devils and Satan, an angel of death. He met him. And because that angel, which is the inner thing, was able to be domained by Jacob, he overcome it, then Azgam Esav Ishlim imo. For that reason, Esau, his physical enemy, has to make peace with him. So why? Because when you overcome a certain demon, your inner demon from inside, automatically your enemy, friend, also being overcome by you. שבכל מקום תוקף שלמטה תלוי בתוקף שלמעלה. In every place, the power that you're dealing with, sorry, internally, is basically express itself in things which are externally. Yeah. So what do we learn if we summarize what I so far shared here? That we have a war. And the war, it's not external war. It's first internal. And the moment that the person is truly overcoming a certain bad habit, addiction, anger issue, whatever your enemy, whatever your demon is, you can call it Esau, you can call it evil inclination. That evil inclination is the minister and the god of your enemy. So if you overcome your evil inclination inside, you can overcome any enemy that bother you. And for that reason, when people tell me I'm trying to change the world, I always say, if you change yourself, the world will change by itself as well. You don't have to worry. If we summarize the clothing, summarize Rebecca, we summarize Isaac and Esau, and the soup, and the lentil soup, you understand that the universe is separate to good and bad. It's good and bad. Why there is good and bad? There is good and bad because the tree of knowledge of good and bad, after Adam and Eve commit a crime, it's forever to stay here until we fix it. So whenever you have a chance not to be bad, not only you overcome things from within, you're changing the life around you in no time. And for that reason, you have to ask yourself also, do you want to rather be with talented like Esau? He was born talented. Or you want to have desire as Jacob? I always tell people, or my client, or my student, the one with the desire always going to win the one with the talent. Because the one with the talent doesn't have to make an effort, so eventually he will lose. But the one with the desire, even if they're not talented, they're eventually going to make it. Thank you, and have a great week.